A motion by Helmut.
Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village and township. You know, those people that make laws and regulations that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, nice hand moves. These are the people that you went and elected, and the committees and the commissions that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that meeting or not. And the result can be a taxing.
Situation.
That's right.
Yeah. And other things go on. We talked about it before. There's humor. And what does humor do?
Well, you can laugh or you can cry.
Right. And it bubbles to the top or it kind of sinks to the bottom. And this guy scrapes it off the top.
Some people just aren't comedians.
Right, that's true. One other thing that we do is our Minutes by Minute program that you folks are watching out there is an abbreviated version of what really went on in the meeting. And it's instead of spending an hour or 2 hours, you know, in the regular meeting, this is about a half-hour show.
Right, but
But there's a but there.
if you do choose to endure that whole potentially 2 to 3 hour meeting, you know, get your beverages and your chips and sit back in the chair, and you can get on your laptop or your desktop if you still got one, like I do. But
Are they outdated
you
yet?
go to occtv.org on your browser, click on programs, and everything is in reverse date order. We don't cut anything. And it will be there for you, but you'll also have a drop-down menu. And you can go down to, say, the Village of Leonard, the Village of Oxford, and you'll see all the meetings for that entity. Good luck.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. Well, not quite, because one of us spreads rumors, and I will tell you exactly who it is. So pay close attention as we go through this, because a few rumors might pop up.
Yeah, let's blame Bob.
Right, Bob? Who's Bob? You keep mentioning Bob.
You don't know who Bob
No,
is.
I have no idea. Would you tell the audience who
You
Bob
think there's
is?
only 2 people here.
Oh, there's another one. Okay. Well, let's get on
He's got
with it.
Harvey.
Okay, let's get on with it. The North Oakland Transportation Authority is one that we're going to be talking about. We don't talk about them too often, but they've got some news. Oxford Village Planning Commission is the other one. The Planning Commission meeting was held on February 4th, and the Transportation meeting was held January 16th. Thus, we go with the North Oakland Transportation Authority first.
You're so orderly.
Would you like to know who serves on that board?
No, but you're going to tell me.
Pretty much, pretty much. Bill Dunn serves as the chairperson for the North Oakland Transportation Authority. Mike McDonald is on the board. Margie Payne is on it. Bruce Pearson, Mr. Page, and let's see, Van Kortman is on as well. And Lynn Gustafson is the executive director. And by the way, she does a great job on
That's
there.
right.
I think she does. They just finished a new building, and they had their first meeting when it was taken care
As a
of.
matter of fact, just all the meetings will now be held at that new building.
Yes.
Rather than the floating game they had around before.
That's
So,
right. And Bruce Pearson, as a
Be
matter
no
of fact,
surprise where the meeting's held.
no. And I think everything will be in and completely finished in terms of vehicles. Actually, they were working on vehicles the day that they had this meeting. You could hear
Okay.
the wrenches going, you know, the power wrenches.
Sure
kind of
that
stuff.
wasn't teeth grinding? I don't know.
That may have been, but this one isn't as teeth grinding as some are.
I see.
Yeah, they're pretty laid back.
Yeah.
I think they're right next to the marijuana plant next
What?
to it. Are they? No, they're not. Not yet, but they will be. They keep
We're going to
creeping in.
get calls.
And we probably will, yes. So they did the pledge, they got the preliminaries out of the way. The agenda was approved. Let me see, but there was an addition, an amendment to it. They wanted to elect officers. It's that time of the year again.
Oh, yeah.
This will go on through the other commissions and so forth throughout
Do the
next
incumbents
month.
still enjoy a big advantage?
Generally speaking, they do, unless they kind of made some missteps along the way, in which people say, "Look, he made a misstep." He made 2 missteps.
Hopa!
Yeah, all right. So, can you say "hasta la vista"? might not make it.
Wow. But
normally-
anyhow, how did that go?
Well, it went pretty well. They appointed the same people that were on the board before, so nothing has changed. So you don't have to change your little list
Boy, the incumbents are really doing their thing.
Right. And he does have a little list that he maintains.
Who?
You do.
I do?
Yeah, you do the voodoo.
That I do so well.
Great.
Yeah.
You do.
That's called our bulletin board.
You
It'll
do.
be the first thing you see when you pop into our website and click on programs. And it kind of gives you a synopsis of everything that's happening.
You do that, right?
Sure.
All right, so anyway, minutes for January 16th were quickly approved. Public comments, no public
Nope.
there in this particular case. And they went on to the director's report, who Lynn gave a report about the official move-in. Date was January 27th, so we passed that one. We're into February. And let me see, all improvements were completed, everything went smooth, and she gave, if you want to see more of the report, you can go to OCCTV.org and do what?
Click on program, click on the drop-down menu that says North Oakland Transportation Authority, and you're there.
Voila! Okay, and you can check it out for yourself as far as the report went. Actually, she was, there was comments made by Bruce Pearson, the supervisor of Addison Township, in which he said that great job in doing the building, getting things implemented. Things went quite smooth, and he would say that's very complimentary to Lynn Gustafson.
I have
Okay?
a question.
Yes, I have an answer, I hope. What?
You know the
Yeah.
RTA that they're going to
RTA.
be voting on pretty soon?
Right.
How would that affect NODA if it passed?
Well, there's only so much money that you can collect for taxes, and that's part of the tax program. And so it will impact, I think, NODA in a negative way.
That being said, it looks like anybody north of Royal Oak is not going for it.
That's pretty much the case. I mean, it doesn't benefit you folks in Oakland County here.
They asked the classic question, two actually.
Yes.
What's in it for me? And where's my tax dollar getting a bang for its buck?
In other words, what's it doing for you? Not a whole lot. Anything. You probably have to go to one of the other communities to hop on that freight train to go to Detroit if
But
you
we
want
could
to.
get dragged into it,
Yes, you could. So you folks want to keep an eye on that one.
kicking
in
and
particular.
screaming.
Yeah. And if you are not for it, you might want to call or contact your state representative and discuss that with them as well, he or she. Otherwise, you may end up, if you don't see what's going on, follow the details in this, you'll wake up some morning and you have that proverbial,
Bill.
I wish I would have. Yes, a bill. Okay. Chairman Bill Dunn, he said that all of last year's officers he felt did a good job, and so they zipped right through that really quick. Let's put them all, lynch them, let's bring them all into the same jobs they had before. And so it was quickly approved, as I pointed out earlier. Let me see, the approval of financial activity report. Well, first they approved the bills, and the bills were, get this, $365,000 and $782 and some odd
Not bad
cents.
for a week.
Yeah.
What period of time was that?
That was for a month.
A month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So that's not bad considering the operation that Lynn has
No,
going over
they
there.
provide a valuable service.
And I think they just had a gentleman who just retired from there, so they're going to have to fill one position over there. I'm not sure, I think it's a supervisory position. If you folks want to learn more, contact NODA and talk to Lynn, and maybe she can fill you in on it. Okay, with that, we'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
If you're interested in sponsoring a show for OCTV, please give us a call at 248-628-9658 and we'll air a promotional video for your local business.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Yes, he is, Dave Kinney. And we're having a
Was
discussion.
yesterday too.
Yes, we're having a
What time is
discussion.
it now?
Way past your bedtime.
I see.
NODA, we're talking about NODA, North Oakland.
Transportation Authority.
Yep, and lots of things going on there. Big improvements, nice new building they have. I don't think they even have to sweep it yet, it's so clean. Okay, next thing they talked about is, let me see, the financial activity report, which was received and filed. which is a normal procedure. Old business. No business. No,
Oh.
none. New business. None. Boy, nothing going on over there, is there?
You're leading me in here.
I am. I'm trying to. Couldn't quite hook him though. Okay. Public comments. None. Public wasn't there, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And?
And?
They haven't found out where this place is yet, or what?
Probably not. They'll find it though, I'm pretty sure.
Now they can walk to it.
They could walk to it or crawl to
If
it.
you live in the village
There's
of
a pub
Oxford.
not far away. You can crawl to it.
There's a what?
A pub.
Pub.
Yeah. Not known as a PUD, but a PUD.
Public meeting, public house.
Great, you got it. Okay, nice friendly neighborhood that they're in. Receive and filed, they did talk about the rider and mileage. A number of people that rode, for example, were 40,000 people in 2019 in Oxford alone.
Wow.
A little over
The
40,000.
township or village?
In the township,
Township.
which includes the village.
Okay.
Okay, 22,000, excuse me, in Orion Township. So a little less than half, in Orion. And
Why is that? That seems,
yeah, you would have thought it would
Orion's
be the other
bigger
way around.
than, has more population than Oxford, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
It's
bigger.
That's different.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
Must be better healed. I don't know.
Yeah, take a note. We'll check on that. Then we'll get back to you,
I'll
folks.
take a note.
Yeah, just stack it on top of those green, yellow ones that you have over
If
there.
it turns yellow, I'll take a look.
All right. We did promise the public at some point we'll pull those out from out of the archives and we'll discuss all the notes that we've had for how many years?
No matter how meaningless they are.
All right, they'd be meaningless now. Hey, you want a really boring show, that will be it. All right. Okay. Also, they had 2,000 riders in Addison Township. So they're the least amount,
Right.
that ride. But
I'm
then
just
they're very
surprised
small.
about Orion, though.
I believe their township is only like about 3,000 people though. So they're not a very big
Yeah, yeah.
township. Although they're growing.
A rural bucolic community.
There are new homes, applications, site plans being produced as we speak here
Yep.
in Addison Township. So if people want to move out in the country area, Addison is a great place to go. Although we have lots of places over here in Oxford as well, and Orion. So, let me see. The question came up to Lynn, how much money do you have, in the bank as far as general fund? And she says, we're a little low right now. We only have $750,000. And they said, that's pretty good. I guess,
Pretty
can
good
you
for
keep
petty
up the good
cash.
work? You got it. So anyway, no, she's very good at the accounting function. And that's what you do here, too.
Well, you do need to have that a substantial amount in your general fund to keep you going in case of bad times.
Yeah. Well, actually, Bruce Pearson asked the question. He says, how much money you got in the general fund? And immediately she shot out the amount. And he says, whoa! Because that would probably be the total amount of money required to operate all of Addison. I'm not sure.
Now, do they have a consistent cash flow coming in?
They do.
Okay.
Yep, they do.
Okay.
And they use a lot of grants as well.
Good.
And,
You've got to be a good grant writer for
Yeah,
those.
Lynn is very good at writing grants, and that's one of her very good solid points that she had when she came into the job. An accounting background.
Put that one on a resume.
Yes, right. I don't think she's got to worry about that.
I don't
She's
think
doing
so.
a fine job.
Yeah,
I think
she is.
she'll probably watch super buses come along by the time she's ready to retire.
What's
They'll
the other
be
word for
flying.
resume? CV.
CV.
Curriculum vitae.
Oh, okay. That too, Brute.
It's a high-class one.
It is? Okay. Tell me more.
I haven't got one.
You want to put the detour up. Speaking of detours, there's going to be a number of them coming around here soon. March is going to be the big push for M24. As you know, I'm on the M24 task force.
Wasn't
So,
the,
DDA.
The contractor was supposed to be selected by the end of February?
Yes, and they have a meeting, the DDA coming up, let me see, not next week, I think it's the following week.
Why, I
And
think I
they'll-
have it right here
You do,
somewhere.
okay, hold that thought then, we'll go over it again. But that's when they'll provide that information. Although they will have it before that, and they'll probably let me know before. I hope they do, Got to see. Okay. Next meeting, let's talk about the Oxford Village Planning Commission held on February 4th. And Gary Douglas is the chairperson. He was excused absence in this particular meeting. Justin Ballard is the vice chair, and he was handling the procedures. Rose Bama serves on the board, Jack Curtis, Maureen Helmuth, Kelsey Cook, and Leslie Pilak. And of course, Terry Onika, who's the village clerk, was there taking the minutes and providing some guidance too, as this meeting went along. They did a pledge, preliminaries out of the way, agenda for February 4th, 2020 was approved, minutes with one correction to it, just a slight correction in a spelling. And that was made, let me see, the approval for the minutes for December 17th, 2019. And that pretty much wrapped up the minutes portion. And correspondence was the next issue. And there was one letter from a Staniski Holding, LLC. And it wasn't read, in the meeting. I'm sure there's a copy if you folks would like to see it, at the village as to what that was, because it's a matter of record now. But it was received and filed. Okay, makes sense?
A letter
You're silent
without
over
a subject.
Without a subject. And that's the way it happened. Honest to goodness.
Okay.
Okay. You look a little confused there. You want more information, didn't you?
People want to know.
Yeah, they do want to know. You want to know. Yeah, everybody wants to know. Well, it's at the village. And it's
So
on
what do you
record.
know?
All right. Take another note and click that.
I see.
Okay, see how quick he wants to move to a different subject now. Okay, officers' appointments. Yeah, they were appointed for the 2020 year, and the new chairman is Justin Ballard. The new vice chair is Leslie Pilak, and the secretary was Rose Bama. So, looks like, let me see, Gary Douglas has performed his last task, as chairman.
Not taking any notes because I copied this yesterday.
I know you did. Snatched it from my desk. I saw that, and you ran like a little banshee. Okay. So anyway, so you have all that information already recorded on your computer.
Well, no, it's going to be on our bulletin board when it gets updated, that's all.
Oh, okay. You're still doing it a manual way?
No, I give it to Terry.
Oh, I see. Okay. And Terry does it the computer way.
Right.
Okay. And she's pretty smart. She knows how to do that.
Yeah, it runs really smooth now.
I know she didn't give it to me. That's fine.
She wouldn't.
She wouldn't. Okay, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about coming up is old business, and we'll talk about that when we come back, right after this. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are talking about the Oxford Village Planning Commission meeting held on February 4th. And we're going into new business. New. What's
Exciting.
new? What's new out there? 2019 annual report, years in review. And that involved Mario Ortega, who's the consultant. And he explained or covered areas such as the marijuana ordinance that they enacted. Also explained the process on how you do ordinances in the village. He made recommendations. This went on for a while, so you folks can learn more if you go to OCCTV.org.
Once ordinances are approved, are they never ending or do they have to be individually taken down?
They got to make you got to take them down individually. I mean, there's actually an ordinance number assigned to it in a meeting, and it has to go before the public.
Okay.
There are usually 2 reviews.
There's no automatic sundown on them?
No.
Okay.
And this one, there's the one issue that they brought up was the chicken ordinance.
Oh, God.
For example. Yeah. And Mario said, you did pass an ordinance, however, you have a problem. They said, what's the problem? I said, well, according to the zoning ordinance, it's contradictory. You cannot have poultry in the zoning restrictions.
But they're pets.
Oh, no, they're not. Pets that you're going to eat their eggs.
Is a horse a pet?
A horse could be a pet if you want to define it that way, but it's livestock. It's defined as livestock through the state of Michigan.
Livestock? What, you eat them?
Like cows.
But you don't eat them.
You can over in Germany or other
Nice.
places.
Well,
We just haven't used it
you
as a
don't
delicacy here.
You don't shear them.
No, it's like eating.
You don't gather their eggs.
Yeah, we don't eat Fido over here either.
No, unless you're in China.
They're fluffy. Right. So a lot of things we don't do here that they do
Right.
overseas.
It's just a matter of definition of the law.
Well, the law is actually defined.
Law was
at the
written
state-
back when, everyone was a farmer.
Great. And it's actually on the books in the state of Michigan, if you
Okay.
want to learn more about it. So anyway, Mario said, whoa, you got a problem. You gotta work this out. You have to, first of all, have the public know about this. So you have to have 2 meetings with the public if you're going to change the zoning ordinance. And first there was an objection through Helmuth, Commissioner Helmuth, and who was one of the supporters of chickens. So, but the clerk, the village clerk, pointed out that it's the procedure that you have to follow.
Does the local community have the ability, regardless of what the state has defined a chicken as, of defining it as something else?
No,
They don't.
a chicken is a chicken.
No, but I mean, in
Horse
terms
is a
of-
horse.
I
Is a
mean,
horse.
The state
Of
would
course.
define it as livestock, but they define it as something else.
Well, you can define it whatever you want, but if it's the zoning says you can't have that chicken out there or that horse in there,
Right.
you can't do it according to the zoning requirements. Zoning trumps what other meaningless ordinance you might produce
What about
until
40?
that's changed.
What about 20 dogs?
That's against the ordinance also. It's an ordinance that restricts the number of dogs you can have.
Really? Mm-hmm. How many is
in
that?
the village. I believe you can have 3.
You just guessed that.
No, I was actually on the ZBA at that time, Zoning Board
So
of
if you want
Appeals.
4, you have to blame him.
Yeah, right. Well, what brought it up in the Zoning Board of Appeals, I'll bring up a little bit of history here. This gentleman in town had something like 12 dogs in his backyard, had it fenced in. It was, and the dog food that was being served to them, maybe on a platter, maybe not, were subject to critters when they come over and grab the food.
They like high-quality
Yeah,
stuff.
so there were a lot of rats in that area, and the health department was concerned about it as well.
Well, the house next door with 30 cats could take care of that.
Can't have 30 cats either.
Oh, really?
It's
Okay.
restricted.
How many cats
Yeah.
can you have?
I'm not sure about that one. We never covered the cat ordinance.
We digress.
I think the cat ordinance involves the cat house. I'm not sure
Oops.
how that works. But anyway,
That's a
cats
different
weren't
ordinance
involved.
altogether.
Right. When I was on the zoning board of appeals, we never dealt with the cats, only the dogs, canines.
Alrighty then.
And that's because they were a real serious issue. And I can recall that particular meeting being filled to capacity by people who were very objectionable about the number of dogs.
Oh,
Because
they wanted
not
more.
only-
They wanted more or less.
They wanted a lot more. No, they didn't.
No, I don't know.
They want less. And because then they wanted some control for the rats, because they're increasing their population because of the food that was provided. Not to mention the dogs were barking a lot too. And a lot of the people complain about that. So anyway, the ordinance is in there for your protection out there as a homeowner. They would restrict your home values, that kind of things, property values.
Parakeets.
Parakeets. Parakeets aren't under that ordinance. They might be under the chicken ordinance.
They
I'm
are
not sure.
messy little birds.
Are they? Okay. Then you could probably classify, parakeets under chickens. I don't know. You could call them a chicken, I guess.
Poultry.
Poultry, yeah. That's a poultry subject we're dealing with here, folks. But anyway, so Mario said that when you look at ordinances, you have to ask yourself, how much is too much, in an ordinance? So he said you need to have a conscious approach to developing these regulations, for the community. And you can overdo it as well. Next thing you know, they'll protect mice. I have no idea. They could. But
Depends how rare they are.
right. And you're talking about the people who are voting them in, how rare they're going to be. Right? Pretty much. Okay. And one of the subjects that came up also is master plan, that they're going to be due for a master plan. Now, every 5 years you got to do the master plan.
Where are we now?
Well, I think they're getting close, probably within the next year with the village. And a suggestion by one of the commissioners was that they do it in segments and cover every time they have a meeting, cover a segment of the master plan. Now, I can tell you this much, master plan is very expensive. It can be in terms of time and also money, because you need somebody like a consultant to work with you on this as well. And
Probably that's when
it's
all
about-
the developers of potential territory come up.
Absolutely, yep, that's what comes up. So, anyway, master plan, they're going to be working on that in the future, and it was a good suggestion that they do it in segments rather than the whole thing, if they're going to do it. I've been involved in a number of master plan renovations, and it's very time-consuming and very exciting in lots of ways.
They were probably also subject to a lot of legal review.
Right. And you have to understand, too, that a master plan isn't cut in granite. I mean, it's meant to be a kind of a guideline
Like a
as
budget.
to what can be done, but it can change, and
Like a budget.
like a budget. Yep, a budget can change. Yeah, it can go up or down, or any ways you want to send it. Okay. So that's what they talked about. And then the next thing was the tattoo parlors. Are they going to have tattoo parlors now? They have marijuana. They want tattoo parlors? Well, that's...
Did they ink that ordinance?
Well, the ordinance is there, but it's going to be revised to some degree. So we have to pay more attention to that as we go along. Right now, it's supposedly going to be under personal service area, which is on one of the ordinances, which covers the C1 zone, C2, and the I1 zone. So all industrial and commercial.
Yep.
So what's going on? What's
Well,
coming
we
up?
do have meetings coming up in February. On 2/17 at 6 o'clock, the Addison Township Board of Trustees is meeting. And also at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford DDA, you were asking earlier, will be meeting. And on 2/18 at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission will be meeting. And on 2/19 at 3 p.m., the Pollyant Trail will be meeting. And that will be at the Addison Township offices. And on 2/20 at 7 o'clock, I believe, Village of Leonard Planning Commission will be meeting. And I think NODA will also be meeting at the NODA offices, and it'll always be at the NODA offices.
That's true. Now, do keep in mind that the village meetings, they're all at 7 o'clock, not 6 o'clock, so you don't want to get there too early anymore. It used to be at 6 o'clock, as I say. Okay, Mr. Dave, that's it. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time right here on Minutes by Minute.
See you then.
Welcome to Oxford Community Television. We are proud that our 4 communities continue to choose local programming, local news, sports, community issues, familiar faces, celebrations, and commitment to each other. Welcome to Oxford Community Television.
Catch us anytime on YouTube. Go to Oxford Community Television YouTube. Do you love local sports? Whether it's Oxford High School or Parks and Rec, you can buy copies of each game. To purchase your copy, call us at 248-628-9658 or give us an email at manager@occtv.org or talk to us at the next game. Hopefully we'll see you there.